Hey guys, welcome back to the Code Black channel, and funnily enough, you won't know this, I've had to reshoot this intro about 5 times because I kept saying welcome to Code Black stream because I streamed for like a year straight. But anyway, thanks guys for coming out to this channel. I'm gonna talk about the game to begin with, but if you hang around to the tutorial, this episode's kind of an episode to get caught up on where the channel is going to be going. Plus, I'm going to show the tutorial to the game, and then afterwards we're going to pick our starter, and that'll probably wrap up part 1. But basically, this is the Pokemon trading card game. I grew up with this game extensively. In fact, in my closet I have a reference if I need it. I have the Prima official, or I think it's the Nintendo Power official guide. It's one of the two. Either it's the Prima or the Nintendo guide, but either way it's really informative. You can look into really cool things, like they have deck ideas in there. They tell you how to build a decent deck, which I'll give you some pointers on that when it comes down to it later. This is Dr.Mason, by the way. This is this game's rendition of Professor Oak or Professor Elm, or however you want to look at it. But for some reason, instead of calling him Professor Mason, they decided to call him Dr. Mason, because let's just do whatever I get. I don't get it. If we're thinking about sticking with continuity, he should be Professor Mason, but they wanted to be... I don't want to say edgy, because I don't think that's edgy at all, but it's like to distinguish him. They want to distinguish the character from the Professor characters in the monster collecting games, is what I'm going to call them. Anyway, grew up a huge fan of this card game. Had a mother who collected almost every card in the game, for the first 2 or 3 sets. And then after Fossil, she quit collecting them. Ended up losing that binder full of cards, which is insanely asinine considering what the value ended up being of these cards later. But this game itself has the first 3 sets in it, I believe. And I think that they kind of dabble into some stuff that's kind of a little off. They have some promo cards that were it was limited. They were only in this game. So the only way you could play with these cards was to either go to Japan. I think Japan got a couple of the releases. If I can find some images of the cards, I will show you some of them in the corners of this video. I think they ended up getting a few of the cards that were actually in the game. Over here in the States, we got the Meowth promo card, but we never got, like, the Venusaur was a collector's from the guide, and then the Charizard and the Blastoise were from somewhere else, I believe. But, like, the thing that really bummed me out about this game, and if you've ever played it, then you'll know what I'm talking about, is that they released the legendary birds in this game, and the legendary birds are awesome. Specifically, Moltres has one of the coolest Pokemon abilities in the game, which hopefully when we get to that point I can show you. I'm just ranting and raving about this game now. This game is awesome. We'll just put it that way. The best way to look at this game is if you want to have a pocket rendition of this game, this will be your best bet, because honestly, up until this point, I think this is the only one that we ever got over here in the States. We never even got like an updated version with like the EX sets and the I want to say the Neo Geo sets would probably be the most relatable thing for people. We never got any updated games for this, so this is your best chance to play Pokemon on the go. I personally played the hell out of it, to the point where I had 3 copies of the legendaries, which means that I beat the final 4, which would technically be 5 in this game, including your rival, probably a grand total of like 20 times to get all the copies. I'll explain that mechanic when we get there. So, we're in the tutorial. Basically, you just have to follow what I'm doing, or you can read the instructions. I'm not going to read them out loud. You can do that yourself. Basically, he's going to take you through the most mundane and boring version of this game humanly possible, and it's up to you to follow exactly what he says. There is no room for fucking around. I pardon my language on that. But you can't do anything outside of what the game tells you to do, so you better follow it to a T, otherwise the game just kind of moves on and says, do it again, and then tells you to keep doing it till you get it right. I've done it a million times, so it's kind of second nature to me. Just read the instructions, that's all I can tell you to do, or just watch what I end up doing and you can follow along. I try to do it relatively slowly so you can follow along. Anyway, so I guess the best thing to say at this point would be, why am I playing this game? And I know it's 4 minutes and 5 minutes into the video, and why are you just now talking about this? And the answer is that back when I first did this video, because I've already done Pokemon trading card game on another channel, it's on the Frostbite's gaming experience, so if you are from there, or if you've never seen any of my stuff, then yes, this has already been done before, actually. But it was a post-commentary, because we didn't really have any method other than that to record the video. So when I ended up, or record the audio, so we would have to do the video, watch it, commentate over it, and as much as I love post-commentary, I've always been more of a live guy. I like that raw feel of experiencing a game reaction live. Like, you can't fake a reaction. I know there's some people who can get close. I'm not very good at it myself, but there was just something missing for me personally from that playthrough. Also, it made more sense in my head to do this first and then segue into the second game, which is what I've always wanted to play, because we finally got a version of it here in the States through ROMs that are English translations. And I never beat it. In fact, the furthest I ever got was 1 gym leader and then I quit. So the plan for the channel to start is this game and another Game Boy game to kind of get myself back in the groove of recording. It'll be this. What did he say? What? Did he seriously tell me to put the energy on Drowsy? No. Wow, that's really stupid. Anyway, so I got some editing software finally. I know it took us forever and a day to get to that point, but that's why I'm back, is because it's going to be kind of like an incentive. Oh, you know, I can put out quality videos now if I want to. But yeah, we're going to be doing this, and I think Mario World, which is 2 failed playthroughs from the first time I tried to do this seriously. So I figured the best way to get my palate moistened, and yours, would be to do 2 games that I have tried and failed to do, both times miserably. So there'll be a lot of old playthroughs that I'm going to redo because I deleted them from my old channel, but it'll be with my new, better approach that isn't choppy, and it's not going to be 5-minute Gremlin 2 parts for people who have already seen that before. It's going to be great. There's a lot of great stuff coming down the pipeline, and I hope to have a good year. I apologize if my commentary is all over the place. I haven't done this in a long time. I tried and went and did streaming. Streaming is a whole different beast entirely. I missed the YouTube grind, which is you have to give live commentary, on point, stay on your game, not a lot of dead air, whereas a stream can be a little bit of both, depending on how you look at it. Just excited, I guess would be the best way to put it. He's gonna almost kill us. It's funny, because as a kid I thought that you would lose this duel. I don't know why, because why would they have a tutorial duel that you just get bodied in? But I really thought he would beat you. He should beat you. But they rigged your hand, of course. There's a cool little feature I'll say real quick to keep this on topic of the game, that you can actually come back and do this battle again, but without the AI basically guiding you through the... What did I mess up on? Oh! Oh, okay, I didn't attach the energy. Yikes! I could have done that anyway, game. That's what I don't like, is it's too, like, you have to do it this way. I don't have the star me, so if this was real life, I wouldn't be wasting the energy right now. But yeah, you can come back and redo this fight on your own accord, and it's basically however you want to do it. And you can test and see how far you can take this deck, or how many stupid ways you can drag the fight out to see what's in his deck and to see what's in your practice deck. But there's only so far you can go, from my understanding. I've never tried to put in like a code to keep your health infinite for the whole thing, which would be hilarious, because I think that'd be kind of cool to see what that does. Like, what all in your deck have you not seen? Because I would love to see it. And you'll get energy. So it's the best, one of the best ways in the game to grind for energy. We're about to wrap up the duel here, thank God. The tutorial in this game is so boring. Once you've done it about 10 times, you'll never want to restart this game again. We'll pick our starter, we'll do some closing segments, and that'll be part 1 of the new playthrough. Did he say he put it on the drowsy? I bet he did. We're gonna do it anyway. Because there's no way this game's gonna chew me out for that, right? Right? That's what I thought. So that's the matchup for him. You can do this fight literally to the T every single time and beat him and get energy. In fact, there'll probably be some times before we do some parts where I'll do that. Thankfully, it won't be as tedious, because I've done it a million times and I don't have to do it their really stupidly specific way. Now to pick our starter. This one's pretty obvious if you've ever watched me play Pokemon. Hopefully I'll do some of that on the channel eventually one day. I've always wanted to do a full Pokemon playthrough. I'd probably do blue, to be honest with you. Let's grab... Bulbasaur. Easy. Every time. Excuse me. Why we pick Bulbasaur? It's the one I know the best. I know the route to take to get to where we need to go. Because I want to get some really good cards, and there's a specific way I want to play the game so I can get to the end so we can play 2. We're going to enjoy the shit out of this, but the main goal is to get a complete playthrough this up and then go to 2. So, with that being said, probably left a lot of topics wide open, and that's totally fine. We will pick this back up in part 2, where we will be traveling over to the Rock Gym. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate your lending me your ear, if you will, on this return video / Pokemon trading card game part 1. I will be trying to release this every 2 days, so look for more of this in the future. And I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you and have a good day.